My producer loves a clap, so they've insisted that I clap before every single episode. So that's what the clap was. Hello, and welcome to Mildly Spiraling. I'm your host, Tracy. Happy to have you here. Hello. Welcome to the 13th, lucky 13th episode of Mildly Spiraling. I'm your host, Tracy. Happy to have you here. Ooh, it's been a long week. I am exhausted, honestly. I think I say that every week, but this might be the week where I'm telling you the truth. I feel so tired. But I just had a really fun, personal coaching session. And I also am going to get a pedicure today, so that'll be fun. I have a lot of updates for y'all. I had 2 cocktails on Friday night, so you know what that means. Unfortunately, the double embryo transfer failed. Neither stuck. Literally, nada, BFNs all around, not one faint line to be seen in this place. Neither of them stuck. So honestly, I don't want to do a day 3 fresh transfer again. I know it's just like, at this point, like, it's luck. It's like, but it's hard. That's 3 embryos that have now failed after being transferred, and it's a lot. And it also happened during National Infertility Week, which fucking sucks. But you know what? My clinic was giving out pretzels and water, so no, it was cute. It was cute to have the recognition. I went in on Friday for my beta, and I knew it was going to be negative, honestly, because I had been testing that week, and I was just like, oh, and yeah, it's National Infertility Week, and they had little like snacks out and water, and it was like random act of kindness, because you never know what someone's going through, which is like so true. If you're watching the video of this, you're getting a little peek into some of the like rainbows that happen throughout the day in our house, because the past tenants left up all these little like snowflake kind of like prism things on the windows, and we left them up because at like 3 to 4 p.m., I mean, depending on the season, it'll just make little rainbows all around the house, and it's just like a little thing that we love, and a little just a little whimsy, right? Like a little whimsy that brings you some joy throughout the day. So I don't know, I just noticed that, and it distracted me from this, and sometimes you need that. So anyway, the nurse called me, and she was like, the doctor wants to have a call with you about a natural FET. And I was like, what? I literally was like processing it as like starting an IVF cycle naturally without estrogen priming. And I was like, wait a minute, why the fuck would we do that? And then I was like, wait, FET, what are you talking about? And she was like, yeah, your other embryo is frozen. Like it made it to blastocyst. And I was like, what? Okay, that's insane, because that was the one that was not developing normally on day 3. So that is some good news that we do have one embryo banked, frozen in the blastocyst stage. So honestly, I don't know that I want to transfer it right away. I have 2 more egg retrievals with my insurance, and I think I want to just do both and see what else we can get and then transfer. But that's kind of where my head's at now, or maybe even one. But my clinic closes in June, so I don't think that I'd even be able to do another cycle until July. So it's like life on hold again, but also my choice, because I don't really want to go right back into another transfer. Like, I don't know if I can like emotionally or physically handle it, if I'm being totally honest, and I just want a little bit of a break, which I think is fair, and I am going to express to him when I meet with him. The other annoying thing is that this is never like everyone says don't stress, and it's never not stressful because the main thing that's stressful to me is like it's always been like this insurance aspect, which is so frustrating because that should not be the main thing that's like exhausting. But like, I don't know whose fault this is or what. I had my egg retrieval on April 10th, and somehow the way it's billed, it has used my 3 egg retrievals that I'm supposed to have under my insurance in one day. And I'm literally talking to the person at the insurance, and I'm like, how is this billed? And they were like, it's showing this claim has 2 egg retrievals performed on April 10th, and this claim has 1 egg retrieval performed on April 10th. And I was like, well, that can't be true. And they were like, well, like, do you have any proof? And I was like, yeah, it's literally physically impossible to have more than 1 egg retrieval in a day. Like, I literally couldn't happen. Like, I'm like, I'm dealing with people, and I'm just like, I can't. Who can I talk to? Because, and I'm like, I'm not trying to be like a total annoying like white woman here, right? But I'm like, hello, like obviously it's wrong. And so they like first told me it was going to take 30 to 45 days to fix it, if they even fix it, which first of all, how can that even be like saying I used two like two all 3 of the like benefits I'm supposed to get when I've only used one. And so honestly, I have emails out to like the hospital, to my clinic, to I've talked to a million people and it hasn't been fixed yet. And they told me 72 hours. That was 72 hours ago. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get an update next week. I hope so. And people are like, don't stress about it. But honestly, I just feel like it's so easy to get like fucking screwed by this stuff that I'm just trying to stay on it so that I can plan for the future. Because I literally cannot plan for the future unless I have those 2 additional retrievals, like which I'm supposed to have. So that's honestly been really frustrating. It's taken my mind off the fact that this transfer failed because now I'm just focused on getting this fixed. But yeah, that's been like just so annoying. And I really hope we can get it fixed because, like, yeah, I mean, my plan is to do 1 or 2 more retrievals before doing a transfer again because there's just so much like hope and like heartache and emotions that go into a transfer um versus like the retrieval. Like one of my friends, when I was preparing for this, like I reached out to her because she had been through it, and she was like, you like were a competitive athlete, so like I think you're gonna have like a good mindset going into this. Like just have the mindset of like when you were a competitive figure skater, and like basically like you'll see what I mean. And honestly, now that I'm in it, I was like, oh yeah, like I just focus on what I can control. When I have a loss, like it sucks and it's very emotional, but I quickly feel like I just get into that like competitive athlete mindset, and I'm like, what can I do to improve in the future, and like what are the steps that I can take to be successful in this. And honestly, like it's really helped me because I think that's just like a natural mindset for me. And so I don't know, like I am obviously like thinking about like the what if and like everything, but like having that mindset I do feel like has helped me a lot getting through this point. But what I will say, honestly, is like reach out to your friends that are going through infertility because every little message, like no matter what, like out of the blue, whatever, like people that like have reached out to me, it just means so much. Like because this process is incredibly isolating. And you really feel alone throughout a lot of it, and you feel like something's wrong with you. Um, And so, like, just knowing, like, that people are out there and they've got your back and they're thinking about you is so helpful, because I can't express to you enough how isolating this is. And honestly, that's part of the reason I decided to be more public about my journey, is because I want people to know they're not alone if they're experiencing something similar to me. And honestly, like, when I started this podcast, I was like, oh, it's going to be like a place where I can express myself and like be funny and tell jokes. And I'm like, oh, it's like, 50% talking about IVF and fertility. And honestly, like, that's where I am in my life. And I think like the podcast can change and whatever, but like, this is something that's happening to me now, and it's such a spiral that, like, yeah, I'm gonna spend 10 minutes at the top of the podcast talking about this thing that's absolutely making me spiral. But like, I'm also gonna talk about like Trader Joe's chocolate covered popcorn kernels and how much I love them. You know what I mean? Like, we mix it up here on the podcast for sure. But yeah, so that's what's going on now. I will say, like, I mean, as long as I don't get talked into doing a natural FET, that does mean I'm going to have 2 months. Yeah, basically 2 months off of the journey. Like, I might start prepping in June if I do, but like, that means I like have a month and a half off, right? Like, that's kind of exciting. I'm kind of excited about that. So I don't know, I was like thinking about traveling, and I literally was like, ooh, maybe I'll go to Portugal. And I was like, $3,000 for the flight for like the end of May. I was like, that's insane. Why is it so expensive? I mean, I know why it is, but like, I feel like that's more like, because I've gone to Italy the past 2 summers, and I was like, it was not that much. But I also think, I don't know if people have noticed but like, Delta has changed. I don't know if it's changed, like, comment or email me at mildlyspiralingpod@gmail.com if you have noticed this or know what it's all about. But I feel like Delta has changed their levels. So like, there used to be like basic, main, comfort, premium, Delta 1 or something like that, and now I think it's basic. I don't know if Delta main exists anymore. Delta main extra, comfort, premium, Delta 1, etc. But like, it's Delta extra seems more or Delta main extra seems more expensive than Delta main ever was. So like, does Delta main exist anymore, or is it just Delta main extra? I don't know. Like, I'm a Delta girly because like, I'm originally from Georgia and everything, and like that's like the airline that I've just always like flown as my airline, and I cannot figure out, like, something has changed with this new verbiage, and I feel like now that it has extra in the word, they've decided they can raise the prices by like 40 to 50%. But I truly don't think there's any changes between Delta main and Delta main extra, and I don't even know that there was like an option for Delta main for this flight to Lisbon. So like, that's like probably off the table. I don't know. I kind of want to go to Maine again. That was really fun. I might go to Boston this weekend. Like, I don't know. I might just do something crazy. I'm not sure yet. So, I don't know. Gonna plan some things. And, like, I am just gonna try and enjoy life for, like, the next month and not feel like things are on hold. And I think if I had, like, a plan, like, I'll feel like that. So, I don't know. I'm still gonna figure out what this Delta business is going. What's going on with Delta? I'm still gonna try and figure that out. So, what am I loving? So, I started watching Rooster this weekend, and I'm just gonna say I love it. I didn't know what it was about, but I really like Steve Carell, so I was like, oh, duh, I gotta watch this. Because I was watching Hacks, and then I kept getting advertised Rooster, which I honestly don't feel like I knew what it was about at all. I think, like, I thought it was about, like, Steve Carell's, like, college-aged child, but, like, it's like, oh, wait, no. His kid is a professor, which also makes me feel really old. But I also don't think I knew how old Steve Carell was. But, like, anyway. Anywho, I love it. I also just love New England. Like, I love New England vibes. It really reminds me of Smith and like where I went to college. Like, it really reminded me of Northampton. Like, they went in this like little mall, not a mall, like a little store, and it had like hot chocolate with peppermint sticks. And it really reminded me of that. And like the place they went, I don't know if you're familiar with Northampton, reminded me of like not Thorn, Faces, which I think it doesn't exist anymore. I can't remember if it was still there last year when I went, but yeah. I just love New England, and it really reminded me of that. Like, but also like a spiral. I feel like New Englanders can be really mean. Like, really mean. Like, obviously, we have massholes, and like, Boston drivers are the worst. I will say, I think New Jersey drivers are pretty bad too, but, and also, I'm not a great driver, so I can't really talk. But I will say, I just remember like living in Northampton and Massachusetts, like I have two like memories that just felt so Massachusetts to me. And I mean kind of like when I grew up in Georgia and Connecticut, and even like where I lived in Connecticut, which is only about an hour and a half from Smith, is just so different. Like it just has completely different like lifestyle and almost like values than where like Pioneer Valley area, but like even Boston, you know. So I don't know. These are two things I remember. One is okay. Maybe I was in the wrong here, so you tell me if I was in the wrong here. But my mom was visiting me at Smith, and we were driving to this farm stand called Atkins. If you know, you know. Shout out to Atkins Farm Stand. It's definitely a love. They used to have these chocolate covered sunflower seeds like that I was absolutely obsessed with. And they always had cider donuts in the fall. Maybe they had them year round, but like in the fall they were so good. And we were driving back, and I think I got like an apple there because they had like an apple orchard. And we were driving by some woods, like on our way back to Northampton because Atkins is in Amherst. Yeah, I was like, is it in Amherst or Hadley? I can't remember. I think it's in Amherst. It's near like Hampshire College, which is going under, by the way. Oh my god, I can't believe Hampshire College is closing. It's so crazy. It's gonna be the 4-college consortium and not the 5-college consortium. I am upset about Hampshire closing. Oh my god. It was just such a unique school. Like you didn't have grades. People like they just gave you feedback, which oh my god I love. But like I didn't go there because I need more structure. But like oh it's so sad it's closing. Anyway, off on a tangent. Anyway, so we're driving back. I throw my apple core out into the woods, right? Like it's gonna compost. This car behind us started honking its horn. It was following us like it was on our freaking tail. Like it's like honky, honky, honky. It's like pull over, pull over, pull over, pull over. And my mom's like, "What is going on? Like, why is this car like honking on our fucking ass?" And I was like, "I don't know." I had like, I had just thrown this apple out the window, but I had no clue. So my mom pulls over thinking something is amidst, like something's up, and they're like, "You just littered." And they were like, "I wrote down your license plate number and I will be reporting you to the police." And I was like, ma'am, I threw an apple core out the window and it's gonna like decompose or like an animal will eat it. Like, I don't think it's a big deal. She was like, "Oh, an apple core. Oh." And it was like, she took a minute to process where she knew, like, obviously she was overreacting and she was like in the wrong with it. But, like, of course she had her freaking pride. So it's just like, that's still bad. Like, you should not throw an apple core out your window. Like, I will still be reporting this. You should not be littering and throwing things out your window into the woods. And I was like, okay. And my mom was like, okay. And then we're literally, that was the end of the conversation. And we drove off and we were just like, that was the most Massachusetts fucking interaction, honestly. Like, just this. Oh my god. I mean, I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't know. It's just like, was not. It's like, a little bit entitled and like a toughness that, maybe you're not used to. And like, especially like living in Georgia for most of my life at that point, and then also like Connecticut, I wasn't really used to that toughness. Only with my Russian figure skating coaches, but that was mostly just them telling me I was fat and I shouldn't eat. So that was one. And then this other one is like, I totally was like on this woman's side, but sometimes like I just remember it because I was like, oh yeah, this is where I like am now, because I was just not, yeah, like obviously like not from there, whatever. So I was at the Whole Foods in I was in the Whole Foods when Whole Foods was actually okay. Like, I was in the Whole Foods before Amazon owned it, right? Like, I was in the Whole Foods circa 20 circa the 2010s or whatever. Yeah. So I was in Whole Foods circa the 2010s, and I was like just grabbing something. The chocolate chip cookies. I was addicted to their chocolate chip cookies when they were good. I feel so old saying that, but like they used to have these like chocolate chip cookies that were so good. I don't know. I was like addicted to them in college, and so I was like just putting them in my cart and like da da da. And there's this woman with like her daughter or something waiting for the deli counter. And he's like, hi, how can I help you guys? She goes, guys? Excuse me. Do we look like guys to you? Why would you ever say that? You should have said, hi, how can I help you? Or hi, how can I help you? Women, I don't even know what to say. He said. This is before we started using y'all means all. And I get her anger in some ways of like, we're not guys. But I also am like, why are you taking your anger about this issue on this fucking like deli counter Whole Foods, dude? Like, I'm all for like using the correct pronouns and gendering correctly and shit, but I was just like, actually, I wasn't even passing judgment. I think I literally was just like, oh yeah, this is where I live now. That's also lesbian appreciation week, y'all. So like, come on. I'm a queer girly, and I get it, and I don't want to, and you know what? I never said it on this podcast. I use she, her pronouns. Actually, there is a time in my life where I would have been really mad if people call me guys, but now like I do it all the time. To myself. I gender myself as a guy. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about here, but you know what I mean. Like, it just was like, oh, this is where I live. Oh, okay. But like, I don't know, those are just two stories that I remember, but like, also, I never fit in anywhere like as well as I fit in like New England, honestly. Like, if I'm being totally honest, like I really found my vibe. I am not an apple core lady, and I am not the woman from Whole Foods, but I do get the vibe, and I fucking love assholes. So I think that's part of it. Is just like I love assholes. So I'm really gonna thrive. I'm really gonna thrive there. But like, no, the town in Rooster does look so cute. I'm like, oh, it'd be fun to live there. But then I remember like everything shuts down at like 9 p.m. and I'm like, this is kind of boring. Yeah, but I might go to Boston this weekend. I don't know. I haven't decided. I haven't done like the train from New York to Boston yet. I don't know if it's like worth it, but I might do it. I just need to do something, y'all. So if you have any ideas of things I can do, not that I'm not busy, but like, I don't know. If you have any ideas, hit me up. Mildlyspiringpod@gmail.com. So all my loves and spirals are kind of intertwined this week. I do have, one thing that's so hard, but just actually a joy. My dog Lavender turned 16 on April 12th. Happy birthday to Lavender. I cannot believe she's 16. I got her when she was a puppy, and she's definitely gotten, like, you can tell she's getting older for sure. She has arthritis, and some dementia. So we've been trying some different things. So like for the arthritis, we've been doing acupuncture, which has been really great. The acupuncture really helps. We do it twice a month. And also it's like her vet does the acupuncture, so there's always eyes on her, which I feel like really good about because it means like we know there's not like hopefully something like huge that we're like missing or whatever. So she does that, and then she also gets like the Librela acupuncture, or not the Librela, the Librela injection, which is supposed to help with um, arthritis, which I've noticed it does help, but it really only helps. Like it used to be like the full month, and sometimes she could even go 6 weeks, but now I've noticed it's like 3 weeks. And so it's hard. And her dementia has definitely gotten worse, especially over the last 6 months. So we tried Prozac under our vet's recommendation, and I absolutely do not like what happened to her over that. So we're on that. So we're tapering her off. It honestly made the dementia worse, which I know, like they say, if your dog has problems that you would traditionally use Prozac for, like anxiety, like separation anxiety, things like that, like it can take about 5 to 6 weeks for the initial like difficult like period of like them like staring into space and things like that to like pass. But like when you have a dog that's 16, it's like 6 weeks is way too long because you don't even know how much time you have left with her. I don't want 6 weeks of bad and then we don't know what's gonna happen. So we're pulling her off of it because honestly, I think that there's some natural things that we've also been trying, and I want to see if those really work too. So we're doing these supplements called Life that you do for a few months that help with brain function. And then she also started taking melatonin like her mommy at night. So we both get our melatonin pills. Well, I did give melatonin gummy, but I get my melatonin gummy at night and she gets her little melatonin pill. And I do think that's helped a lot. It is just hard and it makes me spiral like crazy because I got her when I was 22, right out of college. She's been with me for so long and she's best friends with Savannah, our younger dog, who is almost 10 years old, which is nuts. I cannot believe she's 9 and going to be turning 10 soon, which honestly, and now I've got two seniors. When they called her a senior and I was being charged senior prices for like her blood tests and stuff, I was like, no, that can't be. And I was like, oh my God, she is. So I have a senior and a super senior. And so yeah, like it's hard, but I also feel very blessed and lucky to have dogs that continue to be happy and healthy for the most part. They're things that we're managing, and so I don't know. I feel very grateful for them, and they really help me get through some of these tough times. Yeah. So I will say, reach out to your people. I love when I hear from people. I've been really trying to make a point to reach out to people more because I know how much it means to me too. But I also know I'm not great at it sometimes. And I know people are going through shit. And so, like, if I don't, I'm so sorry. But because like, I totally understand. Like, we're all going through shit. You know what I mean? And we don't know what one person is going through and what the other person is going through. But that's like part of the reason I love doing this podcast. And I can be really open with my journey through infertility as an aspect of this podcast. It's not the whole thing, of course. Because hopefully, if someone is going through it or whatever, you learn a little bit about the process. Yeah. Oh, actually, I'm going to say this one other thing because it reminded me of it. But the progesterone and oil shots, like, if you know someone going through this and you bring that up, you'll see what I'm talking about. But those things hurt like hell. And I have 2 knots, like, on my, like, right above my butt cheeks that fucking hurt, and they are huge knots. And I don't know what happened because I had to do the injection myself one night, like in my butt. The left side of my like thigh is like, it's starting to get better, but the pain actually goes all the way down to my knee, and I'm like, oh my god, did I like hit a nerve or something? Like, what the fuck is going on? But it hurts like so much, and I just stopped doing the shots 2 days ago. So like on Friday when they called me, they were like, you don't need to do the shots anymore, and I was like, thank God. But it like still hurts, so I'm hoping it'll get better. I also like couldn't really do a lot, the last 2 weeks, and so I signed up for my Pilates classes again, and I'm gonna start walking more and everything. But like, I do always wonder. I mean, I'm sure they don't think about it or give a shit. Maybe they do. But it's funny because the last like year or whatever, I'll like go through these phases where like I'm going to Pilates 2 or 3 or sometimes 4 days a week. And then I'll literally be doing that for like months at a time. And then all of a sudden I'm not doing it for like a month or 5 weeks or whatever because I'm going through an IVF cycle. So I just completely drop off, and then the cycle fails, and then I'm back at the studio that often, and then that cycle fails, and then I'm back at the studio that often, and then that cycle fails, and I'm back at the studio that often. I don't know. But yeah. Oh, also, Patrick and I are gonna be attending the Olympics as viewers. We're attending the Olympics as viewers. We got tickets to women's sports only, obviously. Women's field hockey, women's rugby, and women's cricket. So that'll be really fun. I'm excited. It's so far in advance, but like I guess that's what you have to do. But yeah, those are what we're planning on doing. I think we'll be there for like a long weekend-ish because like the things that we got like are all kind of like close together because we don't know what our lives are gonna look like. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Honestly, the main thing that we love women's rugby, and like I really wanted to watch women's rugby in person, so that was like the main one we wanted to get for sure. But then I was like, oh, like field hockey sounds fun. I obviously love ice hockey, and I'm assuming it's similar, but like my mom was telling me about it because she played field hockey in college, and I do think it's a different, but I think I'll get it because I know ice hockey very well, I will say. And then cricket, which I have no fucking idea about, so that'll be really interesting. So that'll be a sport I have absolutely no idea about, but kind of fun to watch. When I lived in London, we had the Summer Olympics when I was living there, and I saw cricket and no, not cricket. I don't think cricket was in it yet. Why am I saying? I saw fencing and indoor volleyball, both fun. Indoor volleyball was really, really fun. But some of the things are happening in really weird places. Like I saw that soccer was happening in Nashville, and I was like, what? That's interesting, but that's why the tickets were so much cheaper. But I'm also excited to go to LA to like see people. So that's a trip planned. And I'm excited about that. And so yeah, sometimes I feel like my life's in the stuck, or I am not moving forward, but then I'm like, I gotta just keep making plans and living my life. And I signed up for a poetry class starting in like 2 weeks, and I'm really excited about that at the Poetry Center here in the city. And I think that'll be really fun. I have no clue if I'm going to be good or bad at it, and honestly, I'm trying not to pass judgment on myself at all. So I'm just excited to do it, and it's like an outlet to express myself and talk about life and everything. Yeah, because I love reading it, so why not? So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in this week. Who knows what I was talking about? No, I do. I made an outline, y'all. Come on, I'm organized. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. You can catch my podcast anywhere: Spotify, Apple. Literally, check out my link tree in my Instagram, Mildly Spiraling Pod, and you'll see all of the different places you can listen to the podcast. You can also watch it on YouTube at Mildly Spiraling Podcast. Just check me out, like, subscribe, email me at mildlyspiralingpod@gmail.com if you would like to fill me in on your loves and spirals, and I'll feature them on the podcast. I think that's everything. Yeah. All right. Love you. Bye.